Hey folks, it's Greg Green again. I'm the candidate running in House District 44 against Jordan Tusher, and I thought I'd come back today to talk about the misinformation that is coming out from the Utah GOP and specifically from Jordan Tusher. Last night they pushed out a reel on Instagram to talk about the misinformation about the gerrymandering case and the SJR401 constitutional amendment. This is the amendment that's taking away voter rights. This is the amendment that's going to overrule any ballot initiative and override people's will so that the legislature can basically do what they want when they want. Let's go ahead and take a look at the video, and I'll pause and comment as we're going through it.
Some people out there that are questioning the constitutional amendment. What do you have to say about that?
I've seen some videos online where people have asked some questions about the amendment, and unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there about that. Things that really just aren't true.
Okay, let's just start here, right? He is throwing it at us and saying that our concerns are invalid. And he's trying to placate an audience to say that there is misinformation and that he's here to set the record straight. Let's see what he has to say.
I think it's important to set the record straight. The constitutional amendment did nothing to prevent any citizen from running a ballot initiative.
Okay, before we go any further, that's probably the only thing that he said that's correct. We're going to go ahead and dive into this in a little bit, but I want you to hear the rest of this.
What it did do is ensure that the proper balance that we've had between the people and the legislature for the past 125 years.
Okay, let's stop there. So he's talking about proper balance, and checks and balances that we have, those are currently in place. Jordan Tusher wants to take those away from Utahns. In our Utah Constitution, it states that legislative power is granted to the legislature and to the people of Utah. What he is describing is about getting rid of checks and balances, not protecting them. It might be worth noting that it's been 128 years since Utah became a state, not 125.
Stays intact. And the reason why that's important is there was a recent Supreme Court decision.
Oh, let's get into this now. The supermajority legislature is pissed that they were checked by the Utah Supreme Court. This is another check and balance that's designed to protect the people. This is another thing that they're trying to override.
It essentially said that if a ballot initiative is passed, that becomes a super law.
Okay, there is no super law. There's no such thing. Again, they're seeking absolute control.
That it's a law that can only ever be changed in very limited circumstances by another ballot initiative. And the problem with that is outside groups see Utah now as...
Okay, now he's talking about outside groups, but the language of the bill says foreign interests. He wants to say that foreign interests mean coming from outside the U.S., but he only talks about California and Arizona, and he doesn't provide any specific information about how an outside interest, i.e. a foreign interest outside of the United States, is impacting citizens' initiatives in the other states. What he doesn't say is that citizens' initiatives are brought up by the citizens of the state. They're the only people who can raise a citizens' initiative. If it's our issue and the legislature is not willing to bring it forward, then the citizens have the right to move and ask for a ballot initiative to appear and vote on. That's it.
The target. They're like, if I come in with $1 million here or $2 million there, then I can buy whatever sort of law we want, and no one can do anything about it.
Okay, let's stop right there. He's talking about the influx of money. And I just want to remind everybody about some groups in Utah that flooded money to defend Prop 8 in California. Okay, that is a great example of a foreign interest going where it shouldn't go.
And we want to make sure that that doesn't happen in our state like it's happened in other states like California or Arizona.
Okay, a little bit of fear mongering there. We've got, things happening in California and Arizona, like those are terrible places to live. Not buying it. Bottom line, he doesn't want legislators to be accountable. The Utah GOP wants to take away the rights of all Utah voters, and they want to do whatever they damn well please. Take a look at what's happening. They're upset because they rewrote our gerrymandering bill from 2018, and they're being sued and they're being held accountable for that action. So they're trying to change the laws to make it so that they don't have to be accountable in the future. They want to ignore the will of the people. They're willing to change the Utah Constitution, and they're willing to lie about why they're doing that so that they can get that wording in there. The only way that happens is if we vote it in. And when November 5th comes around and you are voting, vote no on Constitutional Amendment 4, because this is BS. Everybody needs to be aware that we are defending our voter rights by shutting this down.